Shalom Aleichem, now our viewers. We continue with our shiurim and chasidus dedicated to the memory of Rochelei Bas Chaim Tzvi, Oleh Shalom. And it's taken from Shem MiShmuel on Parshat Nitzavim, page Reish Yud Zayin, up to and including page Reish Chaf. This week's parsha begins with the pasuk Atem Nitzavim Hayom Kulchem Lifnei Hashem Elokeichem. You, the Jewish people, are standing in front of God today. V'sheichem, Shivteichem, all Jews, from the leaders to the wee baby children. Now, Rashi says that the fact that this parsha of Nitzavim, which is a bris, it's a new covenant. La'avacha bris, the Torah says you're here to make a new covenant with God, and the covenant involves that we should keep our commitment to the Torah. As it says it, the number of verses later on. Niglos lanu v'neinu lasis is called the Torah. Those we have to keep the Torah. Now, Rashi says, why was there a need now for a new assembly of every Jew? And in fact, the pasuk says not only the Jews of that particular assembly, even Jews are not yet born. Every single Jew, whoever walks the planet, is part of that bris of Nitzavim, is part of that commitment between man and Jews and God, both way commitment to be loyal to one another. Why was that put right over here, right after the parsha of Kisavo, which had just finished with the terrible curses and the blessings for people who keep the Torah? So Rashi says, when the Jewish people heard those 98 curses which Moshe Rabbeinu pronounced, and of course in the name of Hashem, for those and for the people who sin, and terrible curses, it's really horrendous when you read it. They also, Rashi says, they felt their faces blanched. They felt like ghosts. So in order to give them an encouragement, Moshe told them, look, you sinned in the past, and you're still standing. So don't think that even with all of these curses, that it's hopeless. You will be able to stand Atem Nitzavim Hayom. The way you're standing today, you'll be able to stand in the future. Now, this needs some kind of an explanation, because what does it really mean? If there are curses, and those curses are terrible, and they're really terrible, so what is Moshe telling them? Atem Nitzavim Hayom, you're standing despite the curses. What, does the curses are unreal, are unmeaningful? So Shem MiShmuel has an amazing idea. There is in the Parshat Vayelech, next the parsha after Nitzavim, the parsha we're going to read between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur this year. The pasuk says like this, that the Jewish people will suffer, and v'omar, and they will say, v'yomahu, halo al ki'ein elokai b'kirbi mitzauni haro sa'ela. After the suffering, the Jews will say, I'm suffering because God has left me. And then the parsha continues, "V'anochi hasta panai mehem b'yomahu," and I will hide my face from them on that day. Now, all the mefarshim, the trouble, if the punishments and the suffering, Hashem Yirachem, should never happen to us, these are a result of sins. And the most fundamental sin, and when a person sins, he's sinning usually, or not even usually, overwhelmingly, without an awareness of Hashem. How many people sin knowing Hashem is there? So what usually happens in the sin is that a person has, a believing person I'm talking about, he has a case of spiritual temporary amnesia. He forgets that there's a God in the world. He's involved with himself, with the situation, with his friends, with family, with business. God is